Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, this is Megneous and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Dinosaurs. This time for this episode I have prepared in advance. I have 4 stacks of 64 glass as well as 7 extra fun times, and I even turned it into glass before so we can go ahead and start getting to work while we talk about wonderful things lately in my life, in the news, in space. Because of course, once again, I can't find anything new to talk about in terms of dinosaur research. I may indeed have to just start teaching you guys random stuff that I've learned over years and years of reading Wikipedia articles. Possibly. Therapsids, for example, are pretty amazing. That is a pretty cool looking tunnel, actually. I'm pretty proud of that. Alright, so we need to turn this on to peaceful, first of all, or else Poseidon is going to kill us, literally. And to the subscriber who said that he was stuck in the water currents, I think you are 100% correct. I think we need to save Poseidon. Ugh. Push. Did we get him out? Did we? Yeah, we did. I think he's still trying to eat me, but he's failing miserably. Alright, you're such a cute little Mosasaur. And moving on. Let's see. We can't spend the entire episode here. There's not sand here. Alright, should this be where the viewing dome is? Have we come out far enough? I think we have, actually. Alright, so I actually have no idea how to start making this. But maybe if I just go out. And I'm gonna drown. Hello, Poseidon. Yeah, so I guess if I just put out some arms, like this, then I can sort of fill in the corners, make them nice and pretty, perhaps. I realize that this is not a very glass-efficient way of getting anything done. I'm really not worrying about that at all. I've never attempted to make anything like a dome before, so I really don't know what I'm doing. Just gonna go ahead and put it out another. Poseidon, why aren't you eating these squid? They're getting in my way. Oh. Alright, so while we're working, we may as well discuss something. I have chosen the name for the pterosaur, but we'll get to that later. Can't really do that right now. I want to focus. Focus, Megneous. Things to talk about. So we talked about last time, perhaps we're back, that episode, after our long break, talking about how essentially Congress has decided to cancel the asteroid retrieval project, which, you know, I'm okay with that because I never really liked that mission anyway, but unfortunately I would really like Congress to come up with another mission and then fund it so that we actually have something that we are doing after we just cancel the project. Unfortunately, of course, it seems that Congress is not going to be doing anything like that at all, which makes me sort of sad. Maybe this is okay. I don't know. Let me just fill in these corners here. Switch over to another thing of glass. But yes, so Congress has decided to cancel that wonderful idea for the asteroid retrieval, which I'm cool with. I would be more along the lines with a Mars or Moon base. I would totally be up for that. But unfortunately, it seems that Congress has decided to not only give that as a goal, but to provide absolutely no funding for such an initiative. Why are you following me? Go away, Poseidon. And not only have they decided not to fund such an initiative, you need to get out of here, squid. But they've also decided, apparently in another bill, to cut NASA funding by $1 billion, which is, you know, approximately 5% of their budget. Actually, quite a bit more than 5% since they're currently only getting $18 billion a year. And I realize I said before that like $40 billion a year isn't really a lot if you think about it in terms of NASA funding for a moon base. Get out of my face, squid. Go! I'm trying to, like, do commentary here. What are you doing, squid? Get out. But when it comes down to cuts, cutting $1 billion is a lot of money. I'm pretty sure that's more than the entirety per year for planetary sciences, which means that a lot of probes that we're currently designing and making and sending out into the universe to do lots of cool things, like go around Saturn, those things will probably not happen if such a cut occurs. And that, my friends, makes me very sad, very depressed. So, looks sort of like an arrow. So I'm sort of depressed about that. How in the world am I supposed to turn this into a dome? Let's see, so that's 2 out there. 1, and then 1 here, and then 1 here. Okay, so maybe something like this. Actually don't know. Yeah, we can go ahead and fill this one in here. I don't know. I have no idea. If it looks terrible, we'll fix it later. I have no worries. But yeah, so with the cut of another, well, possible cut of another $1 billion to NASA's budget, I am losing even more faith that NASA is going to be getting us to Mars. And that makes me sad. So, putting my faith in SpaceX and hoping that enough people give SpaceX money that we can continue to do amazing things with them. Oh, sigh. I'm just so depressed about the state of affairs for space. So let's not talk about space for now. I love talking about space, but it's just so sad. Let's talk about something that we can get angry about to distract us from our sadness about space. We'll talk happily about space another day. I haven't really talked about the whole NSA thing yet, because first of all, I'm just a YouTuber. I don't really think that my opinion is something that you probably want to hear for the NSA. But a lot of my viewers are quite young, I'm aware, and maybe some of you aren't even really aware of what's going on with the NSA and why people are angry anyway. What's the big deal? WTF. So that could be what some of you are thinking, possibly, since some of you may be quite young. So I may as well just go ahead and give like a very short explanation of what's going on. Essentially, in order to quote-unquote fight terrorism, which has been a big fear of the United States since 9/11. I'm sure you guys know what 9/11 is. Does that look decent at all? That looks pretty strange, actually. But I may be okay with it, possibly. Alright. So in an attempt to stave off the fear of terrorism, the United States apparently secretly decided to start passing laws and requiring private companies to share their private details of their users with the federal government. Which is not to say that I think the federal government is a bad idea. I think the federal governments are very useful tools for getting various things done. It would be very, very difficult for us to do things such as, I don't know, fund science without a federal government, or approve medicine without such things. But clearly, in this case, there has been an issue with people overstepping their boundaries, creating the NSA, which is essentially a giant spy network to track, supposedly not track actual phone conversations, but supposedly just to track metadata, although I have my doubts about that, meaning like where you call and who you call, but not actually your conversations. But I don't really believe that, because people hiding things from us, how do we trust them when things come out anyway? Before we continue to discuss that, we're going to go ahead and name this pterosaur, this adorable little pterosaur, whom I have forgotten to feed. I need to do that. But this beautiful little pterosaur, we lost our first one named Icarus, unfortunately. And luckily, lots of people enjoyed that name, or at least the theme. So we're going to be naming this guy the father's name who survived after Icarus's death. I have no idea how to pronounce this, but Daedalus? Daedalus? And the first 3 names to suggest this are Topaz Kane, Dungeoneerism. Oh, I'm very surprised that your name fits, Dungeoneerism. And Megadracosaurus. Your name just barely fits at all. Look at that, Megadracosaurus. Very nice. So thank you very much for suggesting the name Daedalus for our pterosaur. hopefully he, unlike his son, will survive to be nice and big and awesome, and hopefully, maybe I can even ride him and not glitch out like Icarus did. Who knows, we shall see in the future. So, that's taken care of. Actually, I'm pretty sure we have another thing that we have to do. We have to hatch our second Velociraptor. Since Velociraptors are pack creatures, or flock creatures, they enjoy having company. So we're going to go ahead and hatch a Velociraptor. Hopefully there's enough time left in the day. Let's see if we can jump in here. No. Let's try this again. Very nice. Alright. And place that. Alright, there we go. So, the guy who ended up telling us, well, actually he wasn't the first, he was one of many, telling us that this NSA, the spy program spying on American citizens, and, well, a lot of people have been trying to say that it's only spying on foreigners, or foreigners in the United States, and honestly I don't care about any of that, because as a United States citizen living abroad, I feel that, I don't know, I think that foreigners deserve the same rights as everyone else, and who really cares who's foreign anyway? We're all humans, da-da-da-da-da. We all deserve privacy, in my personal opinion, and I don't believe that sacrificing the privacy rights of, millions of people is actually going to do that much to fight terrorism. I think that terrorism is sort of like a fringe problem. We have much more pressing matters to worry about, such as heart disease, and the sad state of our healthcare system, but whatever. As I said, I'll try to stay more political, and if I ever do that video, real-life video, where I answer questions, because a lot of you ask political questions. But let's keep it to the NSA for this episode. So, lots of spying and stuff, and the person who told us about that and leaked all those documents, I believe his name is Snowden. Snowden, right? Is that right, Achilles? Snowden. And he's currently being labeled a traitor by a lot of conservative people on television, and as a hero by a lot of liberal people. You can decide for yourself if he's a traitor or a hero, but personally I feel that people generally have a right to know if our own government is keeping track of a bunch of information about us, and considering the fact that our government also has the Patriot Act going on. For those of you who aren't American, the Patriot Act essentially says that the American government and the president can do whatever they want in order to fight terrorism, including break several of our own laws. With that in place, I feel sort of uneasy trusting the government with my personal information, so yeah. Luckily, I don't live in the United States at this point. I live in Korea, as many of you know, so I'm sort of watching all of this happen with sort of a, I don't know, sort of a I told you so look on my face, but yeah, that's just to say that I do not hate my home country. I love my home country, but the politics are just sort of ridiculous at the moment. And until the politics get better, I probably won't be returning home anytime soon. Gonna let you guys take care of that, and I'm gonna continue voting from over here. Yay! Hello, little Velociraptor. I am amazed at how tiny Velociraptors are when they're born. Look at this. That is adorable. So I'm just gonna... Are you gonna follow me? I hope you're not. You're probably gonna follow me. Free move. Alright, we're good. Gonna let you just chill. See if I can get out of here without free... Nope. Ah, there you go. You're trapped. Very nice. Alright, so we're gonna go to sleep. But yeah, I find it very interesting that at a time when we can justify funding an intelligence surveillance program, essentially, on United States citizens. And that's not just like people who are questionable people who that we have reason to suspect of illegal activities, but this is basically, keeping track of information on everyone. And then if they become suspected, then we actually look at the information. I guess maybe you could justify that, possibly, but personally I'm against that idea. I feel that collecting information on innocent people, and then when they are suspected of something bad for whatever reason, whatever whim, then we go ahead and look at all of their personal information. I can't really get behind that. So, at a time when we can fund that, I have no idea how much money was put into that, by the way. Oh, I forgot to snore. Sad. But I think, personally, I would really appreciate it if we could take that money and put that into education, or NASA, or almost anything other than I don't know, bombs, I guess. I guess bombs would probably be a worse use of that money. But, yeah. Sad times. Sad times. Sort of a depressing episode today, I guess. But my mood is just questionable with all of the bad news coming out of not only space, but also my home country. And the complete lack of new research on dinosaurs. Sigh. I'm gonna look up some cool stuff for our next episode. Stuff about therapsids. Therapsids are always cool. Alright, so the next thing that we need to do for our water dome, Poseidon, you're making my job very difficult by getting in my face. We need to, let's see, what, this is 58.62? 58.62. Maybe here, is this lined up? Yes, it is. Alright, so we're gonna go here. See if we can get to 58.62. Okay, that is definitely rock. Alright. I think possibly we should be able to dig into our hello gravel and sand. Is this where the water is? I really hope not. Let's see if I can fill this in so that it's not such a big problem. The water's gonna come in here because it's sand, isn't it? I'm just waiting. Oh! Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. How do I get out? We're gonna do this for now. There we go. We're all good, right? Can we go ahead and knock this out and put a thing of dirt? We cannot. Okay. I don't want to die. Alright, so that doesn't look very nice, but hopefully that will take care of that problem. Man, I'm totally messing up this water. Alright. I just want to get in to the glass dome and make just a little bit of progress. Here we go, here we go. Let's hope this works. Nice. This is beautiful. And once we get into the dome, I'm going to have to figure out how to break out all of the pieces that aren't holding the water back. Because this is sort of like a house of mirrors. I'm not actually sure what's glass and what is not. Okay, so we should be able to go one more, right? Yes. Okay, very good. Yes. Alright then. Let's see here. Alright. I realize that some of you are like, no, Megneous, what are you doing? Use the silk touch. Well, we don't have a silk touch pickaxe yet, so we're just gonna break all this glass, and I don't really care because I have an entire desert full of sand. Indeed. We can break out these. Oh, alright, so I forgot to put down the sign for that dinosaur over there for our new Velociraptor, so I guess I need to just run back over there really quickly and put down the sign. Since we're almost at the end of this episode anyway, as depressing as it was, we need to run over there and put down the sign, because you guys get to choose, of course, as usual, what you would like to name that Velociraptor. Except, he is very far away. Oh, sigh. Sigh, sigh, sigh. Ah, yeah, so some of you guys wished me a happy birthday, and some of you even sent me emails. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. This is probably not where I'm going to put the sign later, but I'm totally okay with putting the sign here for now. Beep. Question mark, question mark, question mark, and enter does not do what I think it does. There we go. So please let me know below in the comments what you would like to name this little Velociraptor. And I would like to just let you guys know that I very, very much appreciate all of the wonderful messages you sent me wishing me a happy birthday. It's sometime this week, and because of that, you may occasionally find that I don't put up a video this week because I have a lot of different friends in different places that I have to celebrate with, going out and doing fun things, etc., etc. So please don't be offended. It is my birthday after all. So thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Let me know below in the comments what you would like to name this Velociraptor. And give me any tips you would think are necessary to make my dome look better, because it's sort of questionable at the moment, but we're working on it. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode. My name is Megneous, and I will see you next time.